Hello everyone. It's James again. And in today's video, I want to talk about the devaluation process the narcissist does to their victims. I've talked about this before, but it's worth to speak about this again, as this is often an early sign that you are in a toxic relationship, and it's time to exit as fast as possible. Sadly, many people presented with such obvious signs will second-guess themselves and stay in the relationship, which is a topic unto itself. That being said, it's important to note that in most cases this devaluation process will rear its head sooner rather than later when getting to know someone. No matter if it's a person you are dating, a friend you have just made, or a boss you just started working for. You see, most toxic people, or narcissists, will come on strong as if you are the best person they have ever met. Everything you say seems to be golden. They will take up all of your hobbies and interests as if they were their own, and your words will seem most important to them. Or so it seems. Then out of nowhere it seems they will find fault with something very simple you have said or done. Something that would be obvious to anyone that you are in the right. But they will say you are in the wrong. They will double check the correctness of what you are saying with a third party such as a friend or family member of theirs. It could be something very simple such as how long it will take to drive a certain distance. You will say, "Oh, I've been there lots of times. It will take 30 minutes if there's no traffic." They will say to you, "I don't trust you. I think you are totally wrong." They will even make it seem like you are trying to set them up to think it's only 30 minutes so they will be late on purpose. They will accuse you of being untrustworthy and giving them false information either on purpose, or because you're just plain stupid. Then they will call a friend of theirs to double check your information. This person will say it takes 30 minutes just like you said. And now they will get off the phone and shrug their shoulders as if to say you are right, and laugh about the big argument you just had about you being right in the first place. The big mistake many make is they shrug this off to a misunderstanding and continue being with this person. You see, most toxic people, or narcissist, and I say toxic people, because there are a variety of toxic people that act like narcissists but might have a different problem. Anyways, these toxic people usually do such an act or pull such a stunt very early on in the relationship. It can be as early as a month, but more than likely around 3 to 6 months. Now this doesn't mean there aren't exceptions to the rule, where this toxic person bides their time and pull this several years later. But in most cases you will see this kind of thing rear its head in 3 to 6 months, if not sooner. The reason is this toxic person just can't help themselves. And sadly most people it happens to stay because they minimize in their minds what just happened. And they aren't educated in such subjects of behavior. You see, the toxic person gains something great in their minds by pulling such a stunt on you. They get to see if you're weak or not. They get to see if they can get away with mistreating you. You see, the victim has failed to see something very important, or ask themselves rather an important question. How did you get from being a know-it-all to being someone that is being questioned over something very simple and elementary? And on top of it, you might be also accused of giving wrong information on purpose, which seems strange. But it's a way for this toxic person to get you to admit how much you care for them. If you are repeating over and over again how much you care about them, and how you would never give them wrong information because you love them so much, they know they love you. Hook, line, and sinker. Now this doesn't mean it's not normal to second-guess certain things, and to double-check or answer about a certain subject. But what a toxic person will do is they will take something they know you are telling the truth about, and they know it's common sense, and they will then tell you you are wrong, or giving them the wrong answer on purpose. Or they will say, it's because you are stupid and don't know the answer. And they want to see if you will follow behind them, trying to convince them that you are right, and that you love them. All in the name of being able to see how much abuse you will take from them in the future. Now again, this is something that usually rears its ugly head early on. And it's up to you, and no one else, to make the appropriate choice. You see, you have to have principles in your life. You have to look into things people say and do and their meaning behind them. And the meaning you should come up with is, you are looking like a fool, trying to convince someone of something they already know is the truth. They just want to jerk your chain, so to speak. You are looking like a fool, a punk, and an idiot. And guess what? Once you let this happen, that's the new identity you will have with this person. The identity of being their punk. Oh sure. You might share some good times. Good times that make you think everything is okay and keep you off balance. But then out of nowhere they will mistreat you all over again. But next time worse. And every time after that will be worse than the next. Why? Because they know they can get away with it. Because your actions are telling them that they can. So what's the best response to treatment like this when you first see it? The best response is to leave and don't look back. Because a good person that trusts your opinion today won't flip-flop. Only do not trust anything you say tomorrow. Especially if your intentions are good. And when someone does this about flip-flopping, they are doing it on purpose. As it's a tactic to rope you into an emotionally and possibly a physically abusive relationship. It's up to you to love yourself enough to leave right away. You can't fix people running these kinds of games. The best thing to do is exit the situation. And the best way is to do it as quietly and polite as possible. You will get nothing out of it by arguing your point to them, or getting them to see what they have done to you is wrong. You are only wasting your precious life energy and feeding the energy vampire by doing so. This also can happen if you meet a new friend and you start hanging out. This person may treat you like you are super cool and all good for a few months. Then out of nowhere they are treating you like you are stupid. And everything you say needs to be cross-referenced. Things again that are obvious to the average person. And you are thinking, wow, what's happening here? And guess what? That's what they want you to think. The deer in the headlights effect is what they want. As long as it takes you by surprise, you have more of a chance of just sitting there and taking it. And also telling them how much you value their friendship. That you are giving the correct information and wouldn't dream of doing otherwise. Because you care about them and your friendship. This is like the first example. It tells the toxic person you are a willing participant in the abuse they have in store for you. For the games they will play. And the toxic hell they will heap onto your life. To them, it's a green light. Or like saying, game on. The best way to deal with such so-called friends is to walk away. Don't tell them about themselves. It will only backfire. They will turn as many people against you as they can. And trust me, they will do it. However, the best thing to do is just be too busy to hang out with them. If they want to hang out, make up an excuse. But just make sure you politely and quietly exit such a person's life. This is also why you don't want to let new friends or dating partners meet the people in your life that you truly love right away. The reason being is if they are toxic, they can wreak all kinds of havoc on other friendships you might have. All by twisting and bending the truth. By taking your time with a new friend or dating partner, you get a chance to see such things. And you can see what a person is really made out of. And if they are indeed toxic, it's a good chance you will experience this devaluation I'm talking about. And you will be able to remember this video. And be happy you know what's going on. And happy you can exit the situation sooner rather than later. I will say it again. Most people stay when this toxic mess happens. Quite simply because they are caught off guard. And that's what they are banking on. Because if you are caught off guard, you are more apt to stay and make an excuse to yourself as to why the situation took place. This is very similar to the sweet mean cycle I've talked about before. And the devaluation process and the sweet mean cycle go hand in hand. It's also important to note that if someone is doing this to you while you are in the beginning stages of dating them, it's a good indicator they are cheating on you. Here's why. The toxic person will usually have the person they praise. And they will also have the person they second guess everything they say. At the same time. But it's also important to note the person that is being second guessed started out as a person being praised. It's a vicious cycle with these toxic people that keeps on going. Because while they are telling you that you're awesome, and everything you say is law, they are beating some poor victim down, telling them everything they say is wrong. And they might even say, well, I know people that care about me more than you do. That's why I don't trust you. And anything you say, even if it's about how long it takes to drive somewhere. Because for all I know you could be giving me the wrong information on purpose. And this victim is now running around in circles trying to prove to this toxic person how much they care. And the more they try to prove, the more they are devalued. Now once they have lost interest in this victim, or the victim left on their own, they now turn their attention to devaluing you. And they quickly obtain a new dating partner on the side that is valued. At least temporarily. So please keep in mind. Besides the fact you are being set up by future emotional and physical abuse, with this behavior by the toxic person, it's a good chance they are cheating on you as well. Because they almost always have to have the person they are showing value to and the person they are destroying. Rarely do you see them having one without the other. That's just how these people operate. And please don't try to convince them they are cheating, or what they are doing to you is wrong. You are just feeding the energy vampire by doing so, and wasting vital time in your life. And same is true if they are just a so-called friend. They will make and break up friendships like that, looking for the perfect victims. All the while they have a new friend that is valued, and the other friend that is mistreated and devalued. They rarely have one without the other. So when you see this happen, or experience such a situation, realize what's going on and just leave. If they call you, don't answer. If they text you, don't respond. And if you do, just say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I've been busy. No time to talk. Have a good one." Don't tell these people about life details or things you are doing, because such toxic people will try to mess up future friendships you might have with other people. It's better just to politely and nicely disappear from their life, and to fade into the background as if you never knew them. If you bump into them a couple of years later while out shopping or at the park, or wherever, make a polite excuse to leave the conversation, or to keep the conversation short. The worst thing you can do with a toxic person is engage in long conversations. It's important to note, this can also happen at work with a boss or coworker. This is why it's a good idea to be careful at work and always keep your resume sharp. Especially if this is your boss doing this horrible behavior to you. You come into the company, and wow, you are being treated like the sharpest thing out there. And weirdly 3 months later they turn on you. Now it's a good idea to indeed recheck your work and make sure it's not your mistake. But if your work is the same as it's always been, and now they are accusing you of not working hard enough, or they are finding other ways to devalue you, you should right away start documenting your experience in case legal actions are required, and start looking for another job. Because you're not going to change your boss. And trust me, it will only get worse. Sure, they might throw you a bone at niceness every now and again to keep you off balance. But just when you least suspect it, they will devalue you and throw you under the bus once again. What you need to understand is you can't change these people. They enjoy the pain they cause others because they have a sick problem. The best thing you can do is make sure you don't get caught like the deer in the headlights. That you can learn to see things in slow motion, so to speak, and understand what's happening to you while it's happening, so you can take a mature and adult approach to your situation. And the adult approach isn't trying to convince this person they are mistreating you, nor is it to get them to stop mistreating you, because they know what they are doing to you, and you aren't the first person they have done this to. The adult response is to keep your cards close to your chest, so to speak. Don't give out any more information about yourself to this person, and don't tell this person what you think about them. Just quietly walk away and live your life. Learning and knowing this fact will save you big time. It will allow you to get rid of people that are wasting your time and energy, and spend time with people that are consistent about what they say and what they do, and how they treat you. And they treat you exactly how they themselves want to be treated, which is good, decent, and with care. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can live happy and healthy lives. Until next time, bye for now, and be good to yourself.